Greetings again, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of our series on practical management applications. Now, the last time we talked about the tasks of management: plan, organize, lead, and control, and we covered planning and organizing. Today, we're just going to talk about leadership and control, and these are the two really important elements that will get you fired if you don't do those well. In private sector organizations, we expect leaders to be good leaders and that control must be exercised about everything, otherwise things start going haywire. There are lots of examples of organizations that have failed because there was not enough control. Now, we're not talking about micromanaging everything in the organization. Leaders are not expected to do that. But control in the sense that things must be steered in the right direction, the results must be forthcoming, and people must not digress from what they are supposed to be doing in the organization. Their performance must be monitored and managed. The two most important things in leadership is, firstly, to solve problems, and the second one is to take decisions. Problem solving is expected of leaders, and leaders cannot solve problems if they're not competent in the field that they are managing. Once upon a time, there was a school of thought that you could take an MBA and appoint him or her to any organization. They will be able to manage that organization because they've got an MBA, which is a business degree. Not true, and fortunately a lot of companies have now scrapped that idea and are looking for leaders that are competent in the field of endeavor of that specific organization. If you have an electrical engineering business, you must get somebody that's an electrical engineer to be the CEO or the general manager of that specific business. You cannot appoint a human resource professional to become the CEO of an audit firm. You need a chartered accountant to do that, etc., etc. It's common sense, because what they're expected to do is, when there's trouble, the leader must take decisions and solve problems. And you cannot do it because you'll be out of your depth if you do not have the correct background and qualifications for that specific position. It's really common sense. You can acquire better problem-solving abilities by attending specific development courses on problem solving, etc., etc. But you have to understand what it is that you're talking about. Taking decisions, once you've solved the problems, decisions need to be taken on what is the way forward. Just day to day, every day, decisions have to be taken about things that need to be done. Some people do not want to take decisions because it exposes them. And some of them think that, what if I take this decision and I may be wrong? Well, we all make mistakes. And as long as we take a decision and not try and postpone it and, deviate here, deviate there, etc., etc. A famous trick to try and not take decisions is to appoint a committee, to go to a conference about this, or organize a conference. You can get consultants to come and advise you and that sort of thing, but the responsibility is still yours. Do not procrastinate. Procrastination is the thief of time. Solve problems, take decisions. You need to be competent. And this is really where organizations can fail if they fail to appoint the correct people, the correct leaders. Competence must be your main standard. before you do an appointment at a senior level especially. Communication is the leader's responsibility. People must understand what's going on in the organization. They must know why the organization is being steered in a specific direction. If there's bad news, communicate it. If there's good news, communicate it. You have to be unambiguous in how you're going to communicate with people because people must be clear after the communication about exactly what was said and what was meant. There's a French writer by the name of Le Bon who summed this whole thing up on communication problems. And he said, I know that you believe you understand what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant. You have to sort that out. Directing the activities of your subordinates. So some people don't like the word subordinates. They say co-workers, team members and stuff like that. But in the hierarchical structure, some people are leaders and some people are followers, and there's a hierarchy, and it's not wrong to talk about subordinates. Not all people can be leaders. My personal view and experience is that leaders are born and made better. But you cannot easily make a follower a leader. People naturally assume leadership, and it's a sort of nature or nurture thing. Some people fall into the leadership role a lot easier than others. Other people are comfortable just to be followers. And if we have time at some stage, we can talk about the involvement of followers in decision making. But the leader has to take the ultimate responsibility and take decisions. And you can improve your decision-making processes also, but the main thing is you need to take a decision. Procrastination is the thief of time. Motivate your subordinates. They need to be on board on what you want to achieve, vision, mission, goals, objectives, action plans, and they will need some positive motivation. We will talk about motivation in the next video, because there are certain things that you can do. Some may be mechanistic, others are psychological, but motivation, as we have seen when we looked at the different levels of management, top management, motivate people, middle management, motivate people, operational management, motivate people. There are things that you can do. It's not endless, but there are things that you can do to motivate people to stay on board and perform as best as they can. Develop teamwork. The organization is there because it consists of a number of people, and they have to work together as a team. Now, just let me tell you something. I will spend some more time later on teamwork, but teamwork should concentrate on the achievement of goals and objectives. That's where teamwork should concentrate, not that we're going to a nice lodge over the weekend, we're going to play a lot of games, and we will have a drinking competition or whatever, run an obstacle, climb a mountain, etc., etc. Those things may have its place, but the main thing in team building is that you must concentrate on the achievement of goals and objectives, and at the same time realize that not all the people in the team are the same, and they will always have their preferences. Nobody is expected to love everybody that you work with. They're your team members, but you must get along with them, and you must understand the differences between people. And we'll talk about personality, for example, as a basis of understanding other people. So that has a place. Develop your subordinates. Develop the people that you're working with. Develop the people that have to perform tasks at whatever level in the organization. You arrive there with a set of skills and experience maybe, but it needs continual development. It's not stupid to spend money on training and developing people. You want them to perform at the best of their ability, and that means sometimes that you have to spend some money to develop them better. Lots of organizations do this, luckily, and others think that it's a waste of money. People must just work. I think that's a bit short-sighted. When we look at control, what we need to do in control is we have to develop and set performance standards, which means that you have to have sorted out your jobs properly in the beginning, so that you can say, if this is the job and these are the parameters of the job, what are the tasks you have to carry out, and how do you have to carry them out, and what must you produce at the end? There must be a performance standard. What's a good standard? What's a poor standard? And that's what you're going to measure. A lot of organizations have done away with formal performance appraisals, because performance appraisal is really something that you do day to day or week to week. When people underperform, you can't wait until the end of the year for a formal appraisal to say that, 10 months ago you did not perform so well. It becomes an issue that you don't need in your life. So performance management is something you do day to day to day. And of course you can do it in a nice way. You don't have to do it in a negative way. Do it in a positive way. If people transgress the rules, if people don't perform, etc., the objective is to help them to perform better and stay on the standard or exceed the standard. You don't want them to perform below standard. And that's the evaluation process of performance. You evaluate how they are doing. And then you, of course, need to take corrective action, especially for poor performance. It can take different forms. You can train people, or you can discipline them if they willfully underperform. Plan, organize, lead, control. That's the management job. Select the right people and train and develop them to become even better. But do not try to make a Boeing pilot out of a diesel mechanic if people don't have the aptitude. Next time, motivation. Thank you very much for watching the video. Alles van die beste.